Hi everyone, I'm Torzi and welcome to this 30-minute yoga sequence with Runna. For today's class, we're going to start on our backs, so just join me on the mats, coming down onto your back. And we're going to start in a constructive rest position today, so this just involves drawing the feet to the width of your yoga mat and just allowing the knees to fall in on one another, just a gentle internal rotation of the hip joint there. So just coming into this position, you can rest your hands on your belly or face them up by your sides. And once you've met me here, just gently closing the eyes, softening through the face. And starting to focus on your breath here. You may have had a super busy day today, and this starting portion of the practice just allows us to press pause on the day we've had, to check in with our body and observe how we feel in the present moment. So maybe starting to draw attention to where you feel your breath the most clearly. This may be around the tip of the nose or in the rise and fall of your chest or your diaphragm. But just starting to focus your attention on this spot. And in turn, we start to feel ever so slightly more centered and present here on the mat. Whilst focusing on our breath, we can also start to consider how we feel physically in the body. So draw your attention now to the top of your head. And then start to scan through your body all the way to the tips of the fingers and the tips of the toes. You can notice any aspect of the body feeling like they're holding on to more tension today. And as we move through this class, we'll be taking time to stretch out the entire body. For the final few moments here, just place your hands on your belly if you hadn't already, and take a moment to deepen your inhale and extend your exhale. So feeling your belly rise in your hands as you draw breath in and fall as you let breath out. So inhaling to fill the belly with air and exhaling for the belly to fall. Okay, awesome job, guys. Let's place our hands on our heart for a moment and just set a small goal for your practice. Maybe even just thanking yourself for taking this time to be here. And then together we're going to flutter open the eyes, wiggle through the fingers and the toes. And then just gently draw the knees apart, heel toeing your feet back so that we are more centered, aligned on the mat. You're going to extend your left leg forward in front of you here, just letting it lie heavy on the earth. We're going to hug the right knee up towards our chest and just take some gentle rotations through the right hip and through the right ankle. Just mobilizing through these joints. Maybe a little bit stiff, that's completely okay. Just easing some of that tension and tightness out. We're then going to extend our right hand out towards the right side, grounding into the upper back and shoulders. And you're going to encourage that right knee off towards the left side. So we're just gently releasing into the spine here. Don't worry about that right knee meeting the earth. It's much more important we stay grounded through the upper back to get that really effective twist through the torso and release through the spine. If you hear the odd click or crack through the spine, as long as it's painless, it's completely okay. Just that spine finding some realignment here. Lovely deep breaths in and out. Great job. On your next breath in, make your way back through center, hugging both your knees to your chest, and then extending that right leg forward in front of you on the mat, taking those rotations through your left hip this time, your left ankle. Again, just mobilizing through those joints. And then we're preparing to extend our left fingertips out to the side, grounding through the upper back body and encouraging that left knee off towards the right side. Again, do not worry about making contact between your left knee and the earth. Just focus on rooting through the shoulder blades and releasing tension through the torso and the spine. One of my favorite postures to start a class with, a spinal twist. Really nice. Let's take a final deep breath on this side. And then making our way back through center, we're going to hug the knees to our chest. And then gently roll off to our right side and make our way up to a tabletop position, facing forward on our yoga mat. So just meeting me here, palms under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to start today by stretching into the soles of our feet. So we're going to take a tuck through the toes, nice deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, shift your hips back towards your heels, feeling that sensation of stretch through the sole of your foot. Inhaling to draw forwards. Exhaling, hips back to your heels. Inhaling to come forwards. And then exhaling to draw the hips back to the heels. This time we're going to stay for a few rounds of breath. Just working our way into the plantar fascia, that band of tissue at the base of the foot. Obviously, as we're running, we carry ourselves with our feet, so we need to make sure to take the time to tend to them, to stretch out the soles of the feet. Good. Okay, really nice. Taking a final deep breath in. On your exhale, releasing yourself from that stretch, untucking the toes. Just take a little pad out for the feet there. It's quite a strong stretch. Okay, meeting me back in that tabletop position. We're going to root through our right palm. Take a nice deep breath in. Lift the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Open the chest. And then as you exhale, you're going to thread the needle. So you're going to draw the left fingertips through the gap, grounding through the left cheek, and then reaching that right hand forward in front of you on the mat. We're releasing here into the upper back, body, neck, and shoulders. As you breathe here, see if you can direct your breath into your belly. So like in our starting pose, as you inhale, feeling the belly expand, and as you exhale, feeling the belly relax. Really lovely job. Okay, let's draw that right palm closer towards us here, grounding through it. Take a deep breath in to unravel your needle, lifting the left fingertips up, opening the chest, and then coming back down to the earth, meeting those hands. Great, let's come straight onto the other side. Rooting into the left palm, taking a deep breath in, reaching the right fingertips up towards the ceiling, opening the chest. And then breathing out to slide the right fingertips through the gap, grounding the right cheek and extending that left hand forward in front of you on the mat. Threaded needle pose. Taking those deep breaths, doing a fab job so far. Great, let's guide that left palm closer towards us, roots down through it. Take a deep breath in to reach the right fingertips up, open the chest, and then make your way back to your tabletop position. Fantastic. Let's move into downward facing dog here. So rooting those palms a few inches towards the top of your mat, tucking through the toes and lifting those hips up towards the ceiling above you. Take that time here in your first downward facing dog to pedal through your legs. So bending through one knee, straightening through the opposite leg, and just starting to warm up through the calves and warm up through the hamstrings. Okay, pushing down firmly with those hands. Pushing down and back with the pads of the feet. Welcoming some stillness here. And then we're going to take a deep breath in and flow forward to a plank position, shoulders over wrists, strong through the core. As you exhale, move from your center, guide those hips back to your downward facing dog. Breathing in for plank, moving forward with ease. Breathing out for downward facing dog, hips lifting high. One more round. Inhale for your plank pose. And then exhale for your downward facing dog. Good. Okay, look towards your hands. Start to gently walk those feet towards your wrists, just taking your time here. Meeting with your feet, hip width distance. At the top of the mat, soften into the knees, fold forward over those legs. And then guiding your hands towards opposite elbows, just shake things out from side to side. Releasing through the back of the body in your ragdoll pose. Really let the head relax here. We often hold tension in the neck. Just really try and let it go here. Great stuff. Lovely. Okay, let's release our fingertips to rest either side of our feet. Softening into the knees as much as you need here. Take a deep breath in. Lift your fingertips up to the top of the shins and lengthen your spine for flat back. As you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, rooting to rise. We push into the feet. We take our time to lift and lengthen. Circle sweeping the arms. And then exhaling to draw our hands to meet at the heart. Good. So we're all meeting in this standing position at the top of the mat. Our mountain pose. Palms are facing forward by our side, shoulders away from the ears. This is just an opportunity to really focus on our posture. Mountain pose is all about finding that evenness between the feet and that length through the spine, the back body. It's from here that we're going to start to move through a standing sequence together, building some strength and some stability. So draw your hands to your heart center, take a deep breath in to lift your prayer up tall, and exhale to fold forwards. Inhale for your flat back, fingertips to shins. Exhale, forward folds. Root through your palms. Take a deep breath in to step your feet back to your plank position. As you exhale, you're going to lower through the knees, hug the triceps to your rib cage, and lower your chest and chin down to the mats. Untuck the toes, breathe in to lift through the heart, cobra pose. Exhale to guide your hips back to your heels, child's pose, drop the foreheads. Lift your gaze to your hands, root through the palms, tuck the toes, lift the hips up towards the ceiling for downward facing dog. We're going to look to our hands, step the right foot forward between our hands, ground the back foot at a 45-degree angle, and lift through the body to welcome your warrior one. Good, so right knee is aligned over your right ankle. We're opening into that left hip. Really nice. Take a deep breath in with me here. And then as you exhale, start to open up through the body. Adjust your stance if you need. Back foot is now 90 degrees. Arms are reaching out wide. So we're in warrior two. Drawing your gaze to those forward fingertips. Take a deep breath in to reverse your warrior, reaching the right arm up and back. And then exhale to ground the right forearm on your thigh. Lift the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Extended side angle. Really good. Strong through those legs. Deep breath in. And exhaling to frame the front foot. Tuck through the back toes. Drop through the back knee. Untuck through the back toes. And then lift through the arms, through the chest for your low lunge. So we're opening into that left hip here, lengthening into the left psoas muscle. We can hold a lot of tension and tightness there. So giving it a good opportunity to lengthen out here. Lovely job. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, gently starting to peel those hip creases back and lengthen into the right leg. We're dropping our fingertips down either side of that right leg. So fingertips rest under our shoulders. Bend as much as you need into the right leg. Protect that hamstring. You want to be stretching it here, but we don't want to overexert. So keep things safe whilst you give the back of that right leg a good stretch out. Lovely job. We have an option to stay here or an option to root down through the left fingertips and reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Half split twist. Brilliant job. Let's all come meeting with the fingertips under the shoulders, gently shifting those hips forward. Rooting through the palms, tucking through the back toes and lifting the back knee, and guiding our feet to meet in that downward facing dog. Take a pedal through the legs. And then you have an option here to stay in down dog for a few moments or to flow through a vinyasa, inhaling for your plank. Exhale for chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Inhale for your up dog or your cobra pose. And then exhale to meet me in downward facing dog, hips lifting high. Really nice. Okay, let's lift the gaze to our hands. We're stepping the left foot forward this time, grounding the back foot at 45 degrees, lifting through the arms for warrior one. Again, left knee is aligned over left ankle, strong through the core and body, fingertips reaching up for the ceiling. Good. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, open through the hips. Back foot now is at 90-degree angle, so we can draw a line from that left heel through the center of our back foot. Arms are reaching out wide. Warrior two. Doing great. Take a deep breath in to reverse your warrior. Left fingertips reach up and back. Exhale to ground the left forearm on the thigh. Reaching the right fingertips up and overhead, extended side angle. Awesome job. Deep breath in. And on your exhale, we frame our front foot, tuck through the back toes, drop the back knee down to the earth, untuck the back toes, left knee aligned over left ankle, reaching tall for your low crescent lunge. Allowing that right hip to get a good opening here, lovely stretch through the hip flexor. Nice deep breaths in and out. Let's take a breath in together. And then as we exhale, we're gently shifting things back, guiding the pelvis to be centered on the mat as we draw the hips back. Fingertips rest under the shoulders, lengthening into the left leg, but of course, like on the other side, feel free to bend as much as you need into that left knee to protect your hamstring. But hopefully feeling a sensation of stretch through the back of the left leg. Lovely, lovely stuff. Let's root as an option into the right fingertips and lift the left fingertips up to the ceiling. And this just keeps the stretch going through the left hamstring, but draws a little bit more attention to the outer left hip and the left side of the lower back. Really good. Deep breath in together. And then all coming back to meet with those fingertips under the shoulders. We're going to shift our hips forward here, framing our hands either side of the left foot. Tuck through the back toes and lift through the back knee. Meeting the feet in downward facing dog. Again, we can take a pedal here, we can take a rest, or we can flow through a vinyasa. Inhaling for your plank. Exhaling for chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling for up dog or your cobra pose. And exhaling for your downward facing dog. Lovely, all meeting here together. Now we're going to look to the hands and start to walk our hands towards our toes at the back of our mat here. Softening into the knees, folding forward over the legs. Take a deep breath in to lift the fingertips up the shins, flat back. Exhale, forward folds. And inhale, root to rise, lifting up nice and tall. Exhaling, hands to our heart center. Okay, we're going to come into a balance practice before taking it down to the earth. So I'd like you here to root down through your right foot, finding a firm foundation, grounding through the sole of the foot. And we set up here in a grounded tree before we start lifting the other foot off the earth. So just taking a moment to lengthen your spine, draw attention to your core, find a point of focus in front of you that is non-moving so you can engage your gaze with it. Once we feel ready to do so, we may want to shift the sole of the foot to be below the knee, or we have an option to take the sole of the foot to be above the knee there. It doesn't really matter which one you take, just depends on the mobility through your hip joints. Hands can be in heart center here, you could lift them up to the ceiling. And we're finding that point of focus to draw our gaze towards. Now, if you wobble or fall here, it's completely okay. Just come back to where you were. It's all an opportunity to practice that single leg balance, challenging the body to be on one foot instead of two. Really nice. As our transition out of tree pose, we're going to draw the knee through center and then gently guide the feet to meet. Give the hands and feet a shake. And then let's come on to the other side, rooting through the other foot and setting ourselves up with that grounded variation first, just to correct our posture, get ready to go. And then we're going to lift the sole of the foot to be either below the knee joints, or again, we can be above the knee joints if we would prefer. Hands meeting at heart center here, or we can lift them up to the sky, whatever feels good. And again, just focusing here on coming back into pose if you wobble or fall out. Drawing attention to your core. Good job. And then on your transition out, just gently drawing the knee through center and guiding yourself back to the earth. Fantastic. Shake into the hands, shake into your feet, and then come towards the top of your mat. Take a generous bend into your knees, a deep breath in, circle sweep the arms, high mountain pose. Exhale to soften and to fold forwards. Inhale for your flat back. Exhale for your forward folds. Root through the palms, step your feet back to your plank pose. Drop down through the knees. Guide your knees to the width of your yoga mat, toes to touch behind you. Sinking the hips back to the heels for an extended child's pose. Drop your forehead down to the earth. And just take a few moments here to bring the energy down. Opening into the hips, lengthening into the arms, the spine. Okay, final deep breath here. Before lifting the gaze to your hands. Gently walking those hands towards you, guiding the knees to meet in a brief hero position, kneeling pose on your mats. And then we're going to come straight down onto our backs to rest up in our corpse pose. So shift your hips off to the side, toes off to the other side, and really gently just make your way down onto your back body. And this time we extend our legs forward in front of us on the mat. We can rest our hands on our belly or face our palms up by our sides, whatever feels best. And corpse pose is an opportunity to just resist any need to activate or engage your body. Just allow yourself to relax, to soak up all the benefits of the postures we've taken on the mat today. Okay, everyone, let's take some gentle wiggles through the fingers and the toes, preparing to exit this final posture. Let's guide the knees up towards our chest, giving ourselves a nice big hug, taking a gentle rock from side to side. And then preparing to roll off to our right side and make our way up into a comfortable seated pose in which we can end our practice. Once you're here with me, just taking a nice deep breath in, lifting the arms up above the heads, touching the palms, and then drawing your hands to meet in front of your hearts. Just taking a moment here to thank yourself for dedicating this time to moving your body mindfully. And I really hope you enjoyed this yoga sequence with Runna.